Bryan here is one of my clients who's been working on his private pilot certificate, also known as your primary. Lately we have been focusing on his cross-country training, but because of some delays, we're going to go back and work on some of the basics to shake off some rust and improve his skills. So come join Bryan and me as we brush up on his skill in Skill Refresher. Skill Refresher is a series with Bryan and myself as we brush up on some skills and shake a little bit of rust off on the primary maneuvers. Something to note is I am not Bryan's first flight instructor, so he may do some things a little differently than what I normally teach. So be sure to hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification to be alerted.
And St. Louis departure at Skyhawk 572 for Romeo at the West practice area. We're going to be maneuvering here probably about 5,000 and below.
2 for Romeo, that's fine, thank you. 45 Bravo, descend to maintain 6. 45 Bravo, descend to maintain 4,000.
I think we'll head south. Alright. Why don't you go ahead and we'll practice that emergency engine out. So, alright, so you just pull this out. Yeah, pull your carb heat out and bring your the engine to idle. The engine to idle. Here just, boom, you lost your engine. What are you going to do? I'm looking for 72, but I'm looking out here for a good place to land. While you're looking there, what's a trick that you can do to help make your life easier? Something you'll hear naval aviators say probably a lot. I'm not sure. Trim, trim, trim. Yep. Does have to work for you. Alright, now what? I'm turning right here. This is how I got picked out. Pretty good on the airspeed. 2005. Alright, we got some time. You've got it picked out and you're flying towards it. What can we do now? I'm going to try to start the engine again. Alright, so what are you going to do? So I'm going to look around here and see what's going on.
45 Bravo, thanks, sir. Cleared for the visual approach, runway 13, connect to tower 121.3. Go on.
Here. Alright, prime. Is the primer stuck? It looks like it's okay. Alright, we're going to give it a little push. Here we go. Kind of turn it on. Now we got it going. Nope, it's not going. I got to get lined up here. So you need 3 things for a fire. The heat ignition, fuel, and air. I'm saying it's like the Holy Cross. Go like this. Fixture, kills. Here, yep, here, go across, here, and then down. Yep, just go across this board right here. This part right here, the lower board. I'm 1,600, pretty sure I'm going to make that. Actually, I'm going to throw in a little bit of flap here. Alright. A little bit of this. Try to get in the middle of that field here. Which field is it? The dark one. Dark one, alright. Alright, just keep your hand off the throttle because you don't have throttle. Yep, you don't have a throttle. Alright, I'm 72, pitching, I'm looking pretty good. Yep, Mira, when you add that flaps, it switches over to 65. You got 1,200 feet here, so I'm going to get me a little more flaps here, just a touch. Hey, you need to recover. You forgot about that safety altitude. Yep, just right at it. Don't forget that. You're doing a practice maneuver. You got over-fixated. And getting down. Yeah, you almost busted your hard deck there. I shift a little bit to the left here. We got Ashland right in front of us. We don't want to overfly them. We're way too low to do that. So make sure that we stay clear of the congested area. There we go. Yep. Up we go. Flaps are up. Okay. Full power. RB is in. Let's not scare the people in Ashland. Yeah, normally, that's it. I'm glad you pointed it out. Normally I hear that 500-foot warning. I did not hear that 500-foot warning, so you ignored it. I gotta watch that. You shouldn't be dependent on that as your indicator. It's a friendly reminder, but never depend on that as your cue to. You want to depend on your altimeter. We'll recover at 3,000, level off, retrim the airplane, and then we'll start thinking like, what could we have done better during that? All right, let's evaluate that engine out procedure. Well, how would you grade it? Watch your altitude. Turn a nosedive. So, getting into the position of finding the emergency landing area, that critical, that can happen, that has to happen real quick. Yep. At the same time, you're trying to get your, pitch to your best glide 72, so I was a little hot, I didn't get the 72, I kind of pushed the nose. What you want, it's always get your glide speed first, because that buys you the most time. Right. Yeah, because I was hot, I was at like 80 knots, so I was losing altitude too quickly. I wasn't giving myself enough time. It worked out okay because I made the field, but in the case where I didn't, you want to give yourself as much time to get to the landing area. We also want enough time so we have time to restart the engine. Yeah, I had to really nudge you to do that. Yeah. So once we try to restart and it doesn't, then we go across the holy cross, push, pull, push, down. Yep. And it's kind of it's also the 7 here, and then just go across. You're looking at mixture, throttle, RP, it keeps coming out. Older airplane, and then ignition and fuel. And if you look over there and you're like, and you see the fuel already out, then just put it in and then try the ignition, because you'll need to try to restart the engine anyway. Yeah, because that pops out. You don't want to really prime it again because you're probably already hot. You don't need any more fuel. You don't need anything. But yeah, if that comes out, the engine can quit. So, but you also, when you go to the ignition, what specifically do you want to do? I gotta have my hand. I gotta have the throttle there too. I don't want it to be like, if it needs to be at the full out throttle position, so that when I turn this, I've got some juice, right? And then, because that's the way we started on the ground. Well, it could be that your idle setting is too low. What you want to do is push it forward. Usually if you have engine trouble, pushing it forward to get maximum amount of air from max power is what you want.
Approach 125.
You don't want to pull it out because now you're restricting the air through that valve. So you want to open it up. Because your concern is that you're not getting one of those three things. You're not getting fuel, you're not getting air, you're not getting spark. Yeah. So if you pull the throttle out, what are you doing? You're going to have more fuel going in there. You don't want that. Well, you don't have any air. Right. So you want it full throttle. Because if you get a partial engine power loss, you're going to have to put it full throttle to get it in there. So you want full throttle. You just want everything. You want these two. Your throttle and your mixture, you want those pushed in all the way. Your carburetor, you want it full out. You want the alternate air source, the unfiltered, because what it could be is that a bird or a leaf is clogging your air filter. But that's what you're doing, is you're switching your alternate air source unfiltered to get as much air into that engine unobstructed. Then your ignition, you want to try to crank the engine to see if it'll fire up again, or make sure it stays on both. A dual magneto failure is unlikely, but it could happen. All right, any questions on that? Okay, so yeah, let's just go over that. So I've got engine failure, pitch to glide, best glide 72. Immediately get that set up. That gives us the most time to figure out where we're going. As soon as we get that glide path set, now we start looking earnestly. Let's find the place. Yep. All right, once we find that place, now we say, okay, I'm good, I can make that. Now we want to restart the engine, or try to restart the engine. So we go through here and we say, okay, what do we got going on here? What's there? Okay, that's in. It's got to be pulled out. Those two things go all the way in. We check to make sure the fuel is on both.
Archer 794
we do the crank.
altimeter 3024.
And if it starts, we get the hell out of there. If it doesn't, then we're like, okay, here's what we got to do. We got to put this airplane down. So now I'm really focused on keeping the speed, getting some flaps in, getting the trim right, so that when we land, we can land at the right speed. All right. You want me to demonstrate one for you? Yeah, let's do it. All right. Sure, I can reach the controls here. All right, I have flight controls. You have flight controls. All right, I have flight controls. I'm going to do a quick set of clearing turns here before we start. Our feed's out, and I'm going to say, oh no, I lost an engine. I'm going to go trim, 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 trim. Holding my altitude, losing my airspeed. Now I'm looking. All right, I like that field right over there. It's kind of near a road. It's got a nice dark field, so I'm going to go towards that. That one would have been pretty good, but this one's good. All right, now I'm going to check my fuel selector, make sure throttle, carb heat is out, try my ignition, fuel strainer. Then what I would do, I would call out, I would squawk 7700, emergency. Then I would call out Mayday, Mayday, 5724 Romeo, engine failure. Now I would say in the West practice area, look at my map, west of Petersburg. They're going to probably try to talk to me and like really ruin my day. So, all right, got the plane trimmed. So now I'm waiting. Then I'll probably double check, run through try to start my engine. I'll probably play around. May try to swap full mixture or full throttle mixture, kind of idle, start the crank, see if a hot start would do it. All right, that didn't do it. Then I'm going to reduce it to mixture rich, full rich, and then keep my throttle full. The windmilling may start the problem. It's probably, if that's the case, it's probably I had a dual mag failure. All right, so you notice I'm kind of high, right? Yeah. I picked up a spot really close. That's what I want. I'm actually going to start paralleling the field a little bit, and then I'm going to kind of enter it I'm going to almost plan to enter it at the high point, like we would if high points when we reduce our power to idle or power off 180. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do essentially like set myself, yeah, like a pattern. Like, why not? And if that road looks good, I don't see any power lines, then I'll use that road. It actually looks like it doesn't have power lines. It's like the one in Illinois that doesn't have power lines. So which one are you shooting for, that dark one? Yeah, dark one, okay, I got it. That one's cleaner. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to start my turn here. 11, I'll start my abort at 1100. I should be kind of turning on final. I want to be very conscious to make sure I'm coordinated right now. Oh, because you're slow. I'm slow, yeah, and I'm keeping it in tight. Flaps 10. Yep, and I'll just do more of a military style. Yep, I would have made that. That road looks clean, so I'd land on the road.
Thank you for watching our video. I really hope you learned something, and be sure to watch any of our new videos as they come out. Hopefully you'll learn something, and I hope everyone out there has a great day.